If you like your vampires with a little more bite and a little less sparkle, then True Blood is for you. We talked with some of the vampires, witches, and werewolves from the show. So Sookie is kind of chasing after Bill now, trying to find what has been happening.
Well, she wants to know, where he was exactly, why he left, or who took him, why, what's going on with that. She's not entirely buying the whole I never want to see you again ever story.
And so much like when you have movies like Twilight where you have a female protagonist that's kind of passive, how does it feel kind of playing somebody who's as aggressive as Sookie is?
Well, I haven't seen Twilight, so I can't do a compare and contrast, but she's a fantastic character to play. As a woman, you don't usually get to be the forefront of the action, so it's on every level, so it's fun. I'm having a great time.
You're going to see some sides of Sam that you've never seen, and he gets affected by this year a lot, and it's probably going to sort of affect next season as well. I know I'm talking in vague terms, but I don't want to.
You can't give away the spoilers. No spoilers here.
Exactly.
Now, with Bill out of the picture, you're kind of looking at Sookie a little bit more now as well?
I think Sam's always looking at Sookie. Sam's always checking Sookie out. Sam's always going to have a soft spot for Sookie, for sure.
It's hard to be surprised by the show, but they wind up, topping themselves time and time again. This weekend's episode, I wound up shifting into the wolf, so that was kind of a surprise. Nothing can really prepare you for getting on set and having to do that. So,
and going through that process, you don't necessarily have a wolf right there on the set. So then when you finally see it in post, and you're like, oh, that's how they do it.
They have a real live wolf on set.
Nice.
I'm standing there, and about 10 feet away is a real life wolf. They take the chain off of it, and there it's sitting right there. They actually have a trainer in back of me waving meat at it to try to get it to do what you want. But there you are standing there with this thing staring at you, and they real action, and you go.
You're like, I know they call the show True Blood, but I don't want to spill my own right here.
Yeah, exactly.
So you've progressed so much as a character now, and you've developed this relationship with Eric that's kind of very interested and very twisted. How is that kind of like coming from first season to where you guys are at now?
Well, I didn't like him at first because he tried to kill me. And then Sookie saved me, and now I'm his henchman, and I'm basically at his mercy. Whatever he wants me to do, I have to do it.
But he bought you a car too.
He did, because he admired my particular skills, and he knows in order for me to work for him forever that he'll have to win me over somehow, because Lafayette is a survivor, and he'll know eventually how to get out of that situation. So he's trying to win me over.
What's great about this season for me is we got a lot of questions answered about Pam, and we see a lot more of who she is, her vulnerability, which I couldn't even believe she had vulnerability. And I don't want to ruin it for anyone, but it's incredible the depth that I got to explore, which is really fun for an actor. And next, I have an idea of where they're going next year. And we just see the metal tested, Pam's metal tested in every direction. And I love that in other movies or books or characters, when we see people pushed to the brink and we see what they come up with. That's Indiana Jones, that's Star Wars, that's everything that we love, that's Star Trek, pushing these people. And Pam has now been pushed.
And when you guys have a autograph signing like you guys had, you guys are one-on-one too with the fans.
Yeah.
What's some of the kind of responses you guys are getting?
Everyone's got their own favorites, and some people come to see their favorite. I was unlucky enough to be between Lafayette and Alcide, Nelson and Joe Manganiello. So to one side of me, I go, oh my God, Lafayette, you're my favorite character. And they would go, hi, could you sign please? Oh my God, Joe, you're so tall, you're so cute, you're so sexy. So it can be battering on the ego. But you know what, I'm 2,800 years old, I've been around, and so I have my survival techniques.
So much of the show revolves around drama and conflict, and there's a couple of evil characters in there too. How does it feel to kind of be involved in all that?
In all seriousness, everyone's got their point of view. And Russell Edgington has got a point of view about the way the world should run and about the way people should behave. And he simply enacts the things that he thinks should come to pass. He has the power and the money to make it happen.
It's always been there. That interest has always been there. And so I think when you have an interest like that, and that mysteriousness and that sexiness and that rawness and blood and guts. Even though as humans we hate to say it, people love to see blood and guts.
Yeah.
And I think you're going to have a huge fan base, but I could never in a million years thought that I would be like here at Comic-Con 3 years in a row on a big screen being projected, signing autographs, people coming up to me telling me how much they love the show, how much they love the character. I mean, it's been great. Like, I really enjoy going to work every day. I love the people I work with. I love my job.
So is this your first time at Comic-Con?
No, this is my third Comic-Con in a row. I feel like a veteran now.
Now, when you first came here, did you expect this fan response to your books and to the show?
No, I did not, and I am, I can't tell you how overwhelming and flattering it is to see everyone turn out for the show and the books too.
Now, when so many things get translated from book medium, especially into like movies and TV, things are always changed. How do you feel about that as being the writer?
I know that it's necessary because the books are in the first person, and Anna can't be on the screen every moment as happy as that would be. So I knew there would be changes, that there would be character developments that I had not originated. But Alan has his own wonderful team of writers, and I've really enjoyed seeing what they're doing.
You guys have vampires, you have werewolves and witches. What's your favorite out of all that?
Well, vampires, because I am one, so that's the coolest. Witches might be interesting. I'm looking forward to seeing what that's about, because True Blood kind of turns those monsters on their heads. Vampires and werewolves are not exactly what you thought they were. So I'm interested to see what the witches are in a True Blood verse.
So what is it like moving then into True Blood? You're one of the newer characters on the show.
It was my favorite show to watch, and then I got cast on it. So, I mean, it's just a dream come true. Are you kidding me? I'm just so happy. And I'm happy to be back here because I grew up a big comic book fan. I mean, I used to read comics so quickly as a kid that I would shoplift them. And I actually went back 14 years later and returned all the comic books I stole as a kid to the rightful owner 14 years later.
Right on.
So, I mean, I am a huge comic book fan. I love it. So, it's great to be here.
From the X-Men franchise, you know how fans can get. Seeing this happen with True Blood, something that's vampire related and kind of like more on the edge, did you ever kind of think you would see this kind of response?
You never expect this kind of response. I mean, you do jobs that you really believe in for reasons that you find compelling, like, that was Alan Ball, it was HBO, the novels were great, but you never know what is going to really capture people's imagination, and this is just really exciting, and it's just a pretty wild ride.
How can 400 billion bloodsuckers be wrong? They're not. That's why you can catch True Blood Sunday on HBO on Time Warner Cable. At Comic-Con for Time Warner Cable, I'm Noah Park.